Today is October 17th. Today's quote is from our workshop on finding your Dharma and the mission of Srila Prabhupada. It's an exercise we did, and it comes in the form of a question. So you can do this exercise, but read the question and it'll explain it a little bit, how to do the exercise and the point of the exercise and what we can unearth from it. What would you regret not having done if you only had a few days to live? If you met Prabhupada today, what would you want to tell him you are doing that you haven't done yet? So it's two questions, but they're getting at the same point. They're different questions. So let's say you found out that you're only going to live 24 hours or another week or a short period of time. So the question is, what would you regret not having done? Is there anything that is in your heart that you really now feel, oh, I should have done it, or I really wanted to do this, whatever it is, start this project, write this book, create this painting, create this, do that, do this. Or maybe it could be something as simple as improving myself, that I regret that I didn't become more humble, or that I could only chant 16, not 25, 32, 64, or that I haven't achieved Shuddhanam, whatever it is. Ask yourself, if today was the last day or this was the last week, what would you regret not having done? And specifically, because this was a course on Dharma, we were looking at more in terms of service. Like, is there a service? Is there a project? Is there something that I have within me that I'm passionate about, that I'm inspired to do, that I've been putting off? Well, the idea of this exercise was to not put it off anymore, to realize that it's important for you, that it's something that maybe Krishna created you to do, or there's an inspiration within you that if you don't fulfill, you'll never really be satisfied that you've done your best. The second question is, if you were going to meet Prabhupada, what would you want to tell him that you're doing? What would you want to tell him you're not doing? So it's the same idea. Let's say I'm going to meet Prabhupada next month. So now I have a month to do things that I can tell him I'm doing. And so what would I do? So maybe some of the things that you would do are not just to show him you're a good devotee, but they're things which are mission-driven according to your nature, that these are things that you've always wanted to do and you've just been putting off. But now Prabhupada's coming, so I want to tell him I'm doing this. I have a project like that. For many years I was thinking of developing a book and a website that has all the basics of Krishna consciousness that anybody could read and resonate with, and written in very, modern language, very clear, easy to understand, and written in a way that people will read it and say, I like this. This makes sense. How do I do this? How do I go further? And I'm just about getting ready to do it, although it's been on my mind for years. So if I knew Prabhupada were coming in a month, maybe I would be working on it a little more vigorously because I'd want to show it to him. Or maybe there's something that you'd want to tell Prabhupada. I'm chanting very good rounds now, and presently you're not. So these are ways to reflect on your life, ask yourself questions about how would you improve or what's missing, by putting it in a context where, of course, meeting Prabhupada, again, is not necessarily going to happen physically. So that's an imaginary situation. But many of us will have warning that we have a limited amount of time. Of course, you could say we all have warning. We just don't know exactly. But some of us at a certain point of our life will know exactly. And, wouldn't it be great at the end of our life just to say, do you regret anything? And say, no, I don't. And Prabhupada was asked, do you regret? And he said, no. And then later on he said, one thing, I wish I would have established Varnashram. That was the only regret. Prabhupada didn't have time to do it. But we have time. If there's anything we would regret not having done, so let's start working on it now. And to work on it just means do one thing. It doesn't mean the whole project. Just start working on it slowly. That's really important. Just get it moving. Do something. It doesn't matter what. Just write it down on a piece of paper. This is the project. Tell your friend, I'm going to do this project. Do one thing every day, one little thing. Doesn't matter. Research one thing. Take you 1 minute. Do something. Get it moving. It's really important. If you don't do what's really important for you, inside you're going to feel that you've let Krishna down, you let your spiritual master down, you let yourself down. And you don't want to do that.